Stunning video. You've got to watch this. ABC News, to their credit and to Martha Raditz's credit, are putting the Biden administration's feet to the fire finally over the crisis at the southern border. And two things are very clear to me. Number one, there is a crisis at the southern border, and even mainstream outlets are jumping on board. This is not OAN. This is not Newsmax. This is ABC News. And Martha Raddatz, who's very respected in her field. Number two, it's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets better. You know why? Let's listen into this guy. This is somebody who just illegally crossed into the United States of America. And Martha Raddatz says, why? Why now? Why are you doing this? This is very illuminating stuff. Check this out. Here's the clip.
Would you have tried to do this when Donald Trump was president?
Definitely not. Definitely. We had the chance, the same violence that is going on today was there last year. We used to watch the news, and I definitely won't do this.
So did you come here because Joe Biden was elected president?
Basically. The main thing was the violence in my country. And the second thing, I think, was Joe Biden.
The second thing was Joe Biden. He says this guy wanting to remain anonymous, obviously, because he could be in some trouble, or maybe not, who knows. But very interesting reporting, and only just a slice of it there from Martha Raddatz. She was at the border in Tucson, Arizona. This guy said he traveled from Brazil first to Mexico with his wife and 3 kids, and did it because Biden is the president. And Biden and the Biden administration, all the way at least into the run-up of the election, and even beyond that in the first 100 days of the administration, have sent a different signal to these people, a signal that says, you got a chance. You might be able to get across this border, and we might just kind of let it go that you've made your way illegally into the United States. And that is providing a business boom time for all of these people who are human smugglers, real-life human trafficking, probably in the largest wave that we've seen in decades is happening over our southern border right now. And many of these people are being taken advantage of. Their life savings are being funneled away. Let's take a look at some of these photos. Look at this. This is from Axios and their exclusive report inside a crowded Border Patrol tent in Donna, Texas. Space blankets are back in action, it would seem. And though they've put these clear sheets to keep these folks from each other so they can say they're not in cages, some of the other facilities don't look quite like this, and they're overwhelmed. They're not testing all of these people for COVID-19, and there's been broad spread of the virus inside these facilities. Look at all these folks, and you'll see exactly where this problem would come from. They are packed in there. Facilities that were meant to hold 200 to 300 people are holding 2,000 or even more people along the border. And the most interesting thing, perhaps, is that these photos had to essentially be smuggled out to be released because lawmakers are still grilling the Biden administration to grant media access to these border facilities. A growing chorus of lawmakers from both sides of the aisle have called out the Biden administration to allow reporters and journalists into facilities housing unaccompanied migrant children who have sought asylum at the U.S. border. Now, the Biden administration said that they were going to be open and clear about things like this, and they absolutely don't seem to be falling in line with their promises there. Now let's go over to the White House and Jen Psaki, the spokesperson for the White House, getting into it with Peter Ducey from Fox News. Here she is.
As possible.
Go ahead, Peter.
Thank you, Jen. So now that Border Patrol agents in the Rio Grande Valley are letting adult migrants go without even issuing notices to appear, is the Biden immigration policy just becoming more of like the honor system?
The honor system.
That is an inaccurate depiction of what's happening at the border. So there's no change in policy. The border remains closed. Families and single adults are being expelled under Title 42 and should not attempt to cross illegally. In the narrow circumstances in which families can't be expelled, the family is tested and quarantined as needed and placed in immigration proceedings to commence. In some cases, families are placed in removal proceedings further along in the release process. So
probably getting a lot of text during this, I would imagine, on that Jen Psaki bat phone. Bah, 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 right up there. Maybe she's learned to put it on silent. She's saying, look, there's no change in policy. This is not happening what you're talking about, Ducey. And that doesn't seem to be true, according to some of these reports. Rio Grande Valley border agents are releasing migrants without any court dates even. So they said they were authorized on Sunday to release adults and families from U.S. custody before they've even been given a date to appear for their court hearings. The move from Customs and Border Protection is intended to mitigate operational challenges, including risks to national security during significant surges of illegal immigration in the Rio Grande Valley. And they said they give them a notice to appear normally, but now they're just letting them go. They just send them in. So if you're saying that the policy is that the border is closed, well, this doesn't look like the border is closed to me. And what message does this send to all these folks who are already heading over in droves by the tens of thousands? The business between the Mexican side and the U.S. side of the border has never been busier for those who are engaging, as I said, in human trafficking. And people like this guy right here, well, they're hearing this and saying there's an opportunity. That opportunity could cause chaos on that southern border, and it already seems to be doing so, with kids in these facilities far longer than they're supposed to by law be in those facilities. And also the families jammed in there, COVID spreading around. It just seems bad. What do you think about the situation along the southern border? Is this a crisis, or is the Biden administration right? This is not necessarily something that's reached a crisis level. And if it is a crisis, who's responsible for what's happening right now on that southern border? It could be a wide variety of people. I know the Biden administration and some of the leaders of the administration want to blame the previous administration, the Trump administration, for what's happening here. I know others are looking at this and saying, well, clearly, if we even listen to this guy, it's the rhetoric from the Biden administration. But maybe it's also a lot of other people who are at fault, including the folks who end up trafficking these people across the border. Let me know what you think. I'm very interested in your thoughts on this one. If you like this video, please do give it a share. I'd appreciate that. Plus, if you haven't followed yet, right here on Facebook.com/TheNewsJunkie, hit that follow button for free videos like this every single day. And also on YouTube, click subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon.